What's good, people? How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, please do subscribe down below, smash the like, hit the bell. Those things help out a lot. YouTube does notify people when we upload, so make sure you hit the bell so that you get notified. Anyway guys, we got a dope episode for you today, as we always do. Today we're going to talk about bud washing. Should you dunk your flowers in water after harvesting them? Like, have you gone mad? Or is bud washing a way to wash your flower of dirt and bad tasting debris? So in this episode we're going to run through all of that, and you'll discover everything you need to know about this seemingly bizarre process, but by the end of it I'm confident that you might just give it a try. Before we get into that guys, just a reminder, if you're looking for grow tents, grow lights, equipment, any of that stuff, Mars Hydro got you covered, and you can save money on the grow lights, grow tents, and all that stuff with the discount code ICANTHC. It also helps to support the channel, so make sure to check out their stock. I got some new lights on there as well, and a new 12-part hydroponic system. It's pretty cool. And one more thing guys, if you're interested in joining the ICAN Seed Club, link is in the description below. In for a whole year, definitely check it out. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode. Yes guys, now chances are you wash anything green before you consume it, right? Broccoli, veggies, tomatoes, carrots, a lot of herbs, definitely the herbs, parsley and cilantro and stuff. It's like everything actually, like most of the store-bought veggies. And I'm sure if you grow your own stuff at home, you also wash that as well, right? So coming to think of it, why don't we do this with our prized medicinal flower? Can't your colas get particles and stuff stuck on them as well? Well, it may seem utterly bizarre to dunk your buds in buckets of water before drying, but it actually makes sense if you think about it. All manner of debris can build up on your buds during the flowering stage, from dust to minute insect eggs. Like, you'll be crazy what can get on those buds, especially with the stickiness. So if the thought of blazing up or cooking these contaminants makes you shudder a little bit, then maybe you should try bud washing. So what exactly is bud washing anyway? Well, it's exactly as it sounds. You're washing your buds free of any debris and other shit. Practice pretty much involves immersing your flowers in water following harvest to clean them out. Have you ever heard of this before? Have you ever done this before? If you have, drop a comment down below. We've actually done a video on this showing you step by step how to do it already, so definitely check that video out. Now funnily enough, when I first made that video, a lot of people thought I was crazy. A lot of people were like, dude, what are you doing? Man, what the fuck is up with this guy? And all kind of crazy stuff, and told me all sorts of things. But since then, it seems like bud washing has really taken off. I've seen a lot more people make videos about it, a lot of people post pictures on it on social media. Like, it's just everywhere now, which is pretty funny. Did you know that a lot of commercial grow operations do that as well? Yeah, bud washing is completely normal. Why? Because flowers are magnets for dust, dirt, microbes, and a host of other living and non-living things that consumers don't want to smoke, vape, or eat. Flower grown both indoors and outdoors are exposed to contaminants, whereas colas are most likely to gather dust indoors. Those cultivated outdoors are heavens for mites and insect eggs and loads of other stuff. By simply dunking your buds before processing, you can rest assured that you're only using clean flower. Some people may think bud washing is counterproductive. So, is it counterproductive? Like, aren't the flowers coated with precious cannabinoids and terpenes? Won't plunging them into water dislodge their trichomes and cause them to lose potency and flavor? Now, while these are understandable concerns, washing your flower doesn't hurt its impact, its flavor, or its effects. Cannabinoids such as THC and CBD are fat soluble and hydrophobic, meaning you won't lose them when you bathe your bud in water. Plus, those fruity and floral terpenes are locked up in a sticky resin. As long as you carry out the process mindfully and gently, you'll preserve those key molecules. So what about drying, Matt? What's up with that? Yeah, I can. Tell me about drying. Okay guys, well when it comes to drying, sure, it takes a little longer to dry off buds after submerging them, but a little longer on the drying rack far outweighs using flour that's coated in dust and other contaminants, right? And after all, you don't want a super fast dry anyway, right? Now all that said, there are pros and cons to bud washing, like everything in life. Well, let's start with the good first. Quite obviously, it removes mites and insects. Flowers may feature many nooks and crannies, and their coating of resin means that things stick to them super easily. Bud washing helps to remove those living organisms from the surface, including mites and insect eggs. Although it's not alive, dust and soil is still not pleasant to smoke or vape or consume. So washing your flower will remove these small particles that aren't visible to the naked eye. Now a lot of people say bud washing improves the taste. People say it's the best flower they've ever toked on, like ever. If you think your flower already tastes good, maybe you should give bud washing a try. Wait until you remove all of those invisible contaminants. Flower washing actually helps the true terpene profile of a strain shine through without any distortion of flavor. Pretty dope, eh? Now bud washing also also removes pesticides and chemical residues. That's super important. I always prefer to grow organically, but depending on what horticultural practices you've used to grow your flower, bud washing will help to remove any nasty chemical residues. You can't have the good without the bad, so here are the cons. And there's only 3, and only one you really gotta watch out for. Now the first off is that it prolongs the drying period a bit. Submerging your flower means that they'll take a little longer to dry. You'll need to exercise patience and leave them long enough so that the moisture can leave the flower. Now second, bud washing does not remove fungal infections. Although it's effective at removing debris, bud washing won't remove any fungal pathogens that physically enter the plant's cells. You should never consume flower that has signs of infection such as powdery mildew. That's bad. Now number 3, and the one that you need to watch out for, is that it promotes excess moisture. Bathing your flower can coat them in moisture and predisposes them to mold if it's not dried correctly. So you need to pay attention and dry it correctly. Now all that said, how exactly do I bud wash? Now there are a few different ways that people do it, but this is how I like to do it. Some growers may use nothing but water to wash their flower. Others use specific formulas to make sure that their buds go through a thorough clean. Lemon and baking soda. Now this may seem like an odd combination, but people use the two for a variety of purposes. The acidity of lemons and the alkalinity of baking soda make the duo a useful natural cleaning product to scrub down surfaces and deodorize spills. So if you add this combination to your bud washing process, this will help to further cleanse your flowers without the need for synthetic chemicals. It's all natural stuff, to an extent. People also use diluted hydrogen peroxide. Now hydrogen peroxide commonly shows up in household cleaning products, but many growers use it post-harvest to clean their buds. The substance has antimicrobial properties, and in small concentrations it can help to kill off lingering microbes such as bacteria. Now I use hydrogen peroxide a lot in the garden, especially when it comes to germination, so check out our previous videos on that. Now there's also the reverse osmosis water option. It makes sense to use the cleanest water when drying your buds. Dunking your flowers in tap water will help to dislodge debris, but it also exposes them to chemicals such as chlorine and fluoride. RO water passes through a semi-permeable membrane which removes unwanted molecules in the process. It's highly recommended to use RO water for bud washing when possible. You can also let water sit for about 24 to 48 hours and a lot of that chlorine and stuff will naturalize. Now how exactly do I wash my buds, man? So now that I went through some of the upsides and downsides, you know some of the common formulations that people use, it's time to learn the step-by-step process. And it's pretty simple. You'll need 3 buckets or large containers, some water, half a cup of lemon juice, and half a cup of baking soda. First off, you want to set up your buckets in like a production line style. So 1, 2, and 3. Bucket 1 will have your cleaning solution, bucket 2 will provide the first rinsing station, and bucket 3 will be your second rinsing station. You got 1 cleaning station and 2 rinsing stations. 1 to clean, 2 to rinse. You want to make sure you rinse that stuff off. So you fill your buckets with water, make sure that it's deep enough for the buds to go down and come back out without the risk of like smashing onto anything or water splashing everywhere. Once your bucket is filled, you add the 1/4 cup of lemon juice and the 1/4 cup of baking soda to the first bucket and stir it up nice. You want to stir it up good and nice. Still stirring. And the other 2 buckets you just fill with water. That's for the rinse. Now the actual bud washing is pretty simple. You just grab your branch with the buds and gently dip it into the solution of bucket 1. You can swirl it around for about 15 to 30 seconds and then move down the production line to bucket 2 and then move down to bucket 3. 15 to 30 seconds each. So the first rinse will help to rinse off any debris as well as the initial solution. And because bucket 2 will gather dirt and particles and that solution, bucket 3 will serve as like a final rinse and that'll remove any residue and contaminants. Once you're done with that, you can hang the entire branch to dry in a dark place, or you can cut off the individual buds and put it on a drying rack, whichever is your preference. Now you want to dry and cure as normal. You want a long slow dry so that you can get the best flavor from your flower. Now bud washing is an extremely unusual process, and maybe that's why it's growing in popularity. At a glance it may seem like obscure and detrimental and freaking downright crazy, but it doesn't take a long time after learning about the concept for it to make complete sense. We wash fruits and we wash veg before we eat, so why shouldn't we rinse off our buds that we plan to ingest or smoke? Sure, bud washing means there's a longer drying period slightly, but it pays off. Clean flowers and improved taste. If you don't believe me, just have a look at the bottom of your buckets after you give it a try. It looks freaking disgusting. But if bud washing is something that you've done before, like I said, drop a comment down below and let me know. If it's something that you think is completely freaking crazy, then also drop a comment down below and let me know. If it's something that you'll never ever do, then also let me know. I'm really down to hear what you guys got to think. But also guys, everyone's got a different mixture that they use when it comes to washing their buds. These are just some options that I use. Now let me know what options you use. If there's some other mix that you use, definitely let me know. I'm always down to hear what you guys are doing. So before you go guys, smash the like button, hit the bell, but check out this video right here and this video right here, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace fam.